She was just taking a jog, and somebody just drove off the side of the road and purposely hit her.
God, poor kid. I don't think she felt it.
Looks like she had a kid, too.
Oh, my God. Oh. Where's the son of a...
When a woman out for a jog is struck and killed in broad daylight, Arizona deputies scramble to find the truck that fled the scene. But their desperate search for the perpetrator takes a shocking turn when they receive a phone call no one saw coming.
I'm not asking for favoritism, but everyone's going to know anyways.
Okay.
I'm a lieutenant with Phoenix PD. It's my son.
That's the guy who did it. That's the guy who did it.
The following is based on official police records, and the footage has never been seen before until now. On the morning of February 24, 2024, dispatchers receive an urgent 911 call.
I just witnessed a hit and run, and this lady needs an ambulance immediately. The vehicle just drove off. It was a Ford F-250, Ford Super Duty. The woman was just running along the side of the road, and the guy just drove and hit her for no reason at all.
Okay, so she was walking?
Okay, thank you. She was just taking a jog, and somebody just drove off the side of the road and purposely hit her.
Okay.
I witnessed it in my rearview mirror. I don't know if this truck is coming back. I think he's coming back. I think the guy is coming back. He drove west, and he came back to the scene, but he's still in his truck, and he looks like he's going to drive away, but I don't know what he's doing.
Is she conscious?
I don't think so. But I think she was breathing. That's the guy who did it. That's the guy who did it.
A Maricopa County deputy arrives as the caller points to the suspect's vehicle, but it once again turns and flees the scene. With the deputy unable to leave the victim's side, a civilian volunteers to follow the suspect, but quickly loses sight of them. Though the deputy attempts to help the victim, the woman shows no sign of life. At 10:02 a.m., she's pronounced deceased. As backup arrives, they work to locate some form of identification, but find only her cell phone.
God, poor kid. I don't think she felt it.
Looks like she had a kid, too.
Scattered along the roadway are her white earbuds, glasses, and pieces of a headlight. Her shoes were thrown from her feet, with one lying more than 70 feet from the other, a brutal indication of how violently she was struck.
Hey, just letting you know and let Sergeant know, there's a possible next of kin over by his grant. He said that the wife and mom were out running, and they can't get a hold of her, so...
The man provides the phone number for his wife, 43-year-old Lisa Mancuso. A deputy calls it, and in a tragic confirmation, the victim's phone rings. It isn't long before another family member arrives at the scene.
Can I help you, sir?
Yeah, what's going on, officer? My son just called me. He's crying and everything. He lives right here.
He lives on the other side?
He lives right over there.
You're going to have to go down to Galvin up Central to get there.
Is he somebody hit by a car or something?
They will be able to fill you in.
The man is Lisa's father-in-law. He rushes to her home where deputies are speaking with Lisa's husband and young son. Their emotions spill over as they learn the cause of her death.
Oh, my God. Oh. Where's the son of a...
Looking for him.
Hit and run? Terrible, isn't it? You know what?
No words for
We're
it.
complaining about a stop sign here. You know, this is ridiculous. They go 8 miles an hour down this road. I know you guys are spread thin. I realize that.
You have every reason to be upset. So, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I know you.
No, just what would pass the house.
Just working today on
It's okay. It's okay, buddy.
Lisa's husband, Stephen, attempts to pull up their security footage, while friends and family try to comfort the young boy who has just lost his mother.
You can be all right, buddy. It's all right.
How you feeling? How's your chest, dude? It's better, but dude, I'm just in utter shock right now. Like, I can't even think of it.
Overcome with emotion, Stephen takes his son inside the home for a break, while his father stays outside with deputies.
How bad is Lisa looking? Bad?
I mean, no, I wouldn't recommend seeing her right now. How's that? That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I understand. Oh, this is gonna be devastating for him and his son.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Lisa there?
Yeah, sir. I'm sorry to say it is, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, her poor son.
Back at the scene, deputies gather statements from witnesses.
I noticed this woman in black, workout clothes, if you will, jogging.
Okay.
She wasn't anywhere near the damn room. My own personal opinion,
Right.
not seeing the details,
Right.
as far off as she was,
Right.
and shame on me for saying this, there had to have been intent.
The 911 caller who saw the tragedy unfold in his rearview mirror also told dispatchers the incident looked very intentional, but deputies aren't quite certain that's the case.
Wow. So originally he said it looked intentional.
Okay.
But then when I asked him about, did the vehicle like abruptly turn into it? And he said no, it was just a gradual, kind of went over.
Like 692 or just distracted or something. Yeah.
But you leave, maybe big truck.
Yeah.
Call it, play dumb.
Yep.
You came back.
It came back. If you thought
Saw what
I just
happened.
hit a box in the road.
Yeah.
According to witnesses, the truck ultimately made 2 U-turns near the crash site before fleeing the scene for a final time. While the cameras at Lisa's house weren't working, investigators obtained a clear view of the truck just before impact from a nearby residence. The 911 caller's SUV passes the home, followed moments later by the suspect's truck after rolling through a stop sign. The collision itself happens off camera, but the sound of the impact is fully captured. Despite clear footage of the truck and several witnesses, investigators are only able to get a partial license plate. Once images of the vehicle begin circulating on social media, deputies receive a shocking phone call they never expected.
Sheriff's Office, how may I help you?
Hi, my name is Ben Moore, and I need to have a deputy dispatched out to me. The person that drove my son's truck last night, drove him home, hit a gal on Cloud Road and Central, and I just found out about it, so I was calling to see if they could come to my house.
Is your son there?
He's here. Yeah, he's here with me.
Yep.
And just so you know, I'm a lieutenant with Phoenix. I'm not asking for favoritism, but everyone's going to know anyways.
Okay.
I'm a lieutenant with Phoenix PD. It's my son.
Lieutenant Moore's message is relayed to a Maricopa deputy who reaches out to him urgently for more details.
Yes, I started getting phone calls. It's the only reason I even knew. So I went outside, I looked, there was the image on the front of the vehicle. And so I went inside and asked my son. His buddy called me immediately because he had seen the pictures online.
Right.
And said he was at breakfast. That kid's on the way here right now.
Okay.
The one that was at breakfast with him this morning.
Yes, sir.
That friend says that the girl he was on a date with was driving the truck.
Where is the vehicle currently located?
It's where he normally parks it, on the side of my house.
Okay.
It's on the side of the house.
Was he in the vehicle when the crash happened?
He doesn't know. He was passed out.
Okay, I understand. Does he know who was in the vehicle?
Yes, he does.
The deputy obtains his address and lets him know he needs to come speak with him in person.
And like I said, there's nobody delayed reporting. I didn't know anything about it.
No, I don't
I
even.
started getting phone calls, and he was passed out in his bed
Yeah.
for as long as I can remember. So I don't know
Thank you.
times, but I'm just saying. So nobody was sitting here trying not to call you or anything.
No, I am very grateful for you putting the pieces together, sir. Thank you, and thanks for your son for coming forward.
It's the right thing to do.
Yes, sir.
So,
Just so they know he has an attorney, and that's only for protection
Right.
because this whole thing's weird.
Yes.
So he's going to cooperate. I'm just waiting for the attorney to call me back. So
Yeah.
this isn't because he's not going to talk. He's not going to cooperate.
No,
He's
know
fully gonna
exactly. We just
cooperate.
have to make sure that,
I know.
that his rights are
100%.
preserved. So, totally understandable.
100%. That's all it is, and I think you'd call for your son too. So I'm just,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean.
When he arrives, Lieutenant Moore greets him in the driveway, along with his son, 20-year-old Jacob Moore.
So we're going to do the initial, just get here, and then we're just going to kind of lock down until the detectives are done over there.
Oh, yeah.
And
I ran our
then they'll
fatality
come
squad
over.
at Phoenix for 4 years. So I've been a lieutenant for Phoenix for a long time. And
Okay.
this is one of the witnesses at the restaurant.
Hi.
Jackson.
Okay.
And they went to pick up another witness that was at the restaurant to bring him here.
Just breathe, dude. If it wasn't you, don't worry about it. That's the big thing. Dad'll tell you, if it wasn't you, I get other things are going to happen, but
He's a young kid. He's never dealt with
I
this
know.
before. So
I know.
he's just sad at how it's going to affect me. So I told him I love you, and I would be here regardless of that.
While waiting for detectives to finish surveying the crime scene, Lieutenant Moore leads the deputy to the truck.
So it's up here, the damage. You can see, I didn't touch it, so
Okay.
you can see the body fluid. I'm sure that's what that is. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But this, I thought it was weird because right at the back, I was about to weld the back gate. And I came over here and went through the garage to get something. I'm like, why is this truck over here? It's never parked over here. And it's weird. So, strange. But, so.
Well, unfortunately, crud happens, but...
The deputy quickly snaps photos of the truck and the damage to the front left headlight. As another deputy arrives on scene, they learn the female Jacob claims was driving his truck is named Jenica.
Do you know, has anyone got a hold of Jenica yet?
He tried to call her because, I was freaking out, mind you. And I know your camera's on. Yep. Hi, hello. I wear one at work too. So, I go, I need her name. And he's like, he was kind of a daze because I woke him up. He was passed out. And it took him a little bit to know what was going on. He was just tired. Right. And so I woke him up and he tried to call her. Right. And she didn't answer the phone. Okay. And so it's some girl he met that he went on a date with. Yeah. So I've never even met this girl. I don't know who she is.
Do you think it started this morning? Or
What's that?
The date, was it this morning?
I have no clue, sir.
Okay, no problem.
Though Jacob isn't willing to speak to investigators without his lawyer present, his friend Jackson, who was with him this morning, agrees to answer questions. According to him, it wasn't a date, but rather a get-together involving multiple friends. After a long night out, the entire group went to a cafe called Heart and Soul.
We were there, ate breakfast, had some drinks.
Okay.
And
when you say drinks?
I was drinking. I don't know what they were doing. Okay. They were at their own table. They were drinking too.
Okay.
From what I remember.
Drinking what? Orange juice, water?
Screwdrivers.
Okay.
So vodka orange juice.
Right.
But,
Kyle, another friend who was with them this morning at the cafe, also arrives and agrees to answer questions.
Where'd this morning start?
We went to breakfast at Heart and Soul, but to be honest with you, I wasn't paying any attention to what was going on there.
How'd you get to Heart and Soul?
I had some chick driving me, and to be honest, I don't even know her name.
Oh, okay.
She drove my truck.
She drove your truck. Did she pick you up in your truck or come to your house first? And...
Yes, we picked my truck up and then she drove me there.
All right.
We came from, I'm sorry, I don't even know where the hell I was.
We were in some house in Peoria or some shit.
Yes. We came from there.
Yeah.
We went to my truck and then we took my truck to Heart and Soul.
Got it.
She drove back.
And you don't know her name?
I don't.
She just was acting as your DD?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know her name at all? Any nickname, first name, internet? Is she a friend of yours online?
I don't even think I met her before last night, but she was
But she's
sober.
got the
That's all
keys
that
to
matters.
your car.
But she was sober, so it's all that
A
matters.
very trusting man, because...
By Kyle's account, neither of the intoxicated boys drove their trucks, instead relying on two girls, Jenica and another female, who will soon be located and questioned. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Moore hands over his home camera system, hoping it may show evidence that Jenica was the one who dropped Jacob off at home this morning.
I just feel bad for this lady. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's rough.
I've done so many of those notifications.
Were you
Just
vehicle
heartbreaking.
crimes as well?
I ran our vehicular crimes for almost 4 years, 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, social media is blowing up with it, right?
A situation where you have a true victim that
Yeah, she didn't do anything.
didn't do anything wrong. And,
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely horrible. Everything on social media is saying a girl's driving because they were looking for the car. I didn't see that until the people start sending me stuff. So honestly, beyond that, I don't know.
That's interesting. So social media is saying that a girl was driving.
Yeah, they said they're looking for a girl in this truck.
That is interesting because that was not publicly released.
Investigators later locate Micah, the girl who acted as Kyle's designated driver from Heart and Soul Cafe. She explains that Jenica is her roommate and confirms the two were at the cafe with the boys that morning.
Who is driving?
Jen was driving and I was also driving. And then...
So you're driving whose vehicle?
I was driving Kyle's.
Alright.
And Jenica was driving Jacob's.
By her account, Jenica didn't drive Jacob home, but rather to Kyle's house.
Let me backtrack a little bit. You guys get to Kyle's. What happens after that?
We get to Kyle's, we park the pickups, and we said goodbye to both of them, and we got in my car, and I drove back to campus with Jen.
So Jen was in your vehicle.
Yes.
Jacob and Kyle stayed at Kyle's house. Is that correct?
I believe so, unless they left after that, I'm not sure.
Micah explained she and Jenica have been with the boys since the night prior, but struggles to recall specific times and locations. Her lack of certainty prompts the detective to interrupt the interview with a pointed question.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you flat out: are you covering for anyone?
No, I have no idea what's happening.
Okay. So do you understand the severity of this?
I do, yes.
Someone lost their life.
Yes, I know.
All right.
If I knew about it, I would say something. Like, I want to be in law enforcement after I get out of college. Like, I'm a justice studies major. Like, I would not do that at all.
To piece together exactly what happened after leaving the cafe, investigators will need to speak with Jenica. They prepare to follow Micah to her college dorms, where she believes Jenica will be.
I know exactly how that family is feeling right now. Because I lost my dad a few years ago. So it just breaks my heart.
At the dorms, Jenica admits to being at the cafe with the group and shares that Jacob and Kyle were intoxicated. Once they left, she confirms that Micah drove Kyle's truck and she drove Jacob's, with plans to meet at a friend's house. But what she says happened next changes everything.
We were driving on like a freeway. He was like, "You missed the turn, like you didn't tell me." Like, "You missed the turn, let me drive." And he started like yelling. And he was like, "It's my pickup, like let me drive." And I was like, "You know what? I don't want to be in this vehicle. Like I don't want to be driving with you yelling at me." He was like all over me. And so I pulled over. So he drove there.
After switching seats with Jacob and arriving at the friend's house, Jenica claims that Jacob didn't want to stay, as he was tired and just wanted to go home. According to her account, he drove away alone, leaving her in the driveway.
So, about 10 o'clock this morning, a woman was jogging on Cloud Road, was run down by a gray Ford F-250 and killed. Tracks registered owner happens to be a police officer. He doesn't remember how he got there, but he claims that you were driving during the night. And that you were driving that truck, and he wasn't.
During the hit?
It's looking like they're trying to place you behind the wheel when that woman was struck and killed.
What?
Thankfully, investigators wouldn't need to rely on hazy accounts, as video evidence would clearly show who was driving the truck just before Lisa Mancuso was struck and killed. Just after 8 a.m. on February 24th, surveillance videos captured Jacob and Kyle arriving at Heart and Soul Cafe. Jacob can be seen dragging his feet, swaying off balance, and showing signs of impairment. Minutes later, Jenica and Micah join the boys and sit at their table, and they're served alcoholic drinks. One friend, who wasn't with the group but seated in the bar area with Jackson, answers a serious question.
Who purchased the liquor? Because you guys are underage.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. Were they asking for ID, or you just go in there and...
No, never asked.
As their waitress explains, Kyle and Jacob were both increasingly showing signs of intoxication.
They were just being obnoxious. They were sitting there dropping the N-word, calling each other and just using all kinds of profanity. So my concern was just to get them out.
At one point, after purchasing another round of alcoholic drinks, the waitress gave them only orange juice, telling investigators it's what they do if they believe someone has had enough alcohol. Around 8:30 a.m., Jacob can be seen with his arms around Jenica, with his head laying in her lap.
He was passed out, like he was about to go to sleep, and they're like, "Yeah, he can't sleep up there." I was like, "Yeah, it's probably best he leaves." So that's why the girl goes, "Yeah, he's tired. I'm gonna drive him." He was drinking, so
Which girl said that?
Jen. She goes, "I'm gonna drive his truck," and I go, "Perfect." And I walked to the door, and then I went back to the bar.
Jackson stays behind at the cafe while the rest of the friend group prepares to leave. A short time later, the truck can be seen pulling into the driveway of their friend's house. As the doors open, Jacob exits the driver's seat, confirming Jenica's claim that the two swapped seats along the way. The two talk for a while and briefly hug before Jacob enters the driver's seat once more. Jenica walks to Micah's car to wait for her friend, while Jacob leaves alone. Lisa Mancuso would be violently struck and killed less than 10 minutes later. Still, according to a family friend, Jacob has no memory of being behind the wheel.
I said, "Nothing? You can't remember anything?" He goes, "I remember being at breakfast." He goes, and then the next thing he remembered was his dad waking him up.
As more video footage is uncovered and additional friends are interviewed, investigators learn that Jacob began drinking as early as 11 p.m. the night before. After visiting multiple bars throughout the night, he enjoyed additional drinks with his friends at an abandoned racetrack.
When you guys are at the abandoned racetrack, and you guys are drinking, about how much did you guys drink between everybody?
I think there was like a 12-pack that we had in the truck. So that split between everyone, which is just, what is that, 2.5 beers? Probably 3 beers each.
When you guys were drinking at the racetrack, what'd you guys do with all the beer cans?
In the back of each truck.
You threw it in the back of the truck?
Yeah.
According to police records, 8 crushed beer cans were found in a dumpster, removed from Jacob's truck prior to the deputies' arrival. They'd been thrown away by Jacob's father, Lieutenant Moore, who openly admitted he did so before knowing the truck was involved in the accident.
So, could be protein, the Coors Light, and the Monster. I picked up a whole handful of crap out of the back of his truck and threw it in here.
And while Jacob's father was seemingly conflicted over whether Jacob parked the truck in its usual spot,
Where he normally parks it, on the side of my house.
Well, why's his truck over here? It's never parked over here. It's weird.
the camera system his father gave police ultimately showed Jacob arriving at home and exiting the driver's seat himself. In an interview recorded on the day of Lisa's death, a deputy acknowledged Lieutenant Moore's concern that the investigation might appear to show him preferential treatment.
In 26 years, there are untold sacrifices you've made. There are things that you gave up, things that you did for the better of, whether it be a citizen or an agency or another officer, or things that you'll never get recognized for, things that you'll never get back, things that you've had to deal with that are untold and never will be told, the things that you saw and dealt with. I know.
It's the nature of police work.
Yeah. And for that to be called into, when something like this happens, because there's automatically that, well, he's protecting his kid, he's doing this, he's doing that, and I want to do everything to circumvent that.
Yeah, I'm not protecting anybody.
I know.
At all.
That's why we're having this conversation, because I had a feeling.
Not protecting anybody.
Though Jacob claimed to have no memory of the incident, he Googled DUI manslaughter on his phone at 2:37 p.m., less than 10 minutes before his father reached out to deputies. He sent a text message to a close friend an hour later, one that seemed to suggest he knew what was coming next.
He said, "Hey, I love you, just so you know that." And I said, "What makes you say that?" He said, "I might be going away."
At the time the Ford F-250 was seized by police, detectives were unable to prove that Jacob was behind the wheel at the time of the crash and couldn't get a warrant for a sample of Jacob's blood. DNA taken from the broken headlight of the truck would later come back as a match to 43-year-old Lisa Mancuso. After a warrant for his arrest was issued, 20-year-old Jacob Moore, in the company of his lawyer, surrendered voluntarily at the police station. His bond was set at $200,000. In April of 2025, as part of a plea deal, Jacob pleaded guilty to manslaughter and leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death. He was later sentenced in 2025 to serve 4 years in the Arizona Department of Corrections. He was also ordered to pay restitution to Lisa Mancuso's family and will be placed on 3 years of supervised probation following his release. For the 1-year anniversary of her death, Lisa Mancuso's friends and family gathered to honor her memory with a 5K, with runners wearing purple, Lisa's favorite color. If you'd like to see select new videos early and help us keep uncovering case files that rarely come to light, you'll find extra footage and unseen details on our Patreon. Channel memberships here on YouTube also include early access to select new videos.